Shoulder internal rotation, isometric hold in passive abduction. I apologize for the big words. So we'll just get to the passive abduction first, just to make sure everything's clear. Abduction is lifting your arm up to the side. If obviously lifting your arm up hurts, but we can get there passively. So passively just means like this, right? So this is passive abduction. And then internal rotation is you're sort of pushing internally, or that's the kind of force you're putting in to stop movement isometrically, which you'll see in a second. So just in relation to the setup real quick, when you get into abduction, almost definitely what you don't want is to be abducted so high that your elbow is in line with your shoulder. Literally any sort of range between, you know, sort of here and there is fine. It's whatever, I guess, setup or range there allows you to do this at a pain-free range of motion. So what I'm doing here is I'm obviously seated on a bench, and I've got another bench here to put my foot on, but notice this bench is lower than this bench. So as I do this, also what I'm going to do is I'm going to not have a big bend in my knee, have a smaller bend, so that way now my knee, my leg's a bit lower. So then I'm going to get my arm, I'm going to actually lift it with my other arm, because this is passive, get up there and then put it there. And now this is just relaxed. So internal is me basically pushing down. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this at sort of we're going to give you 3 angles. So fully internally rotated, I'm going to call this about just a neutral sort of mid position, and then fully externally rotated position. So we'll just start with the neutral position. So neutral position, once again, got your arm up here, boom. Now if your arm's straight forward, that's okay. If your arm's out to the side there, that's okay as well. You probably do both, actually, would be a good idea. But basically you're just going to get here, and you're going to get, just wrap a band there around your hand. And with your other hand, you're literally, let's say that's neutral. With this other hand, you're literally just going to lift up on the band until you feel the tension and stiffness in this tissue to stop the movement. That's it. And that's your sort of neutral position. And you're just going to be holding, isometrically holding still. The fully externally rotated position, you've got to have a band attached over to there, just attached to an anchor point here, because obviously you can't hold the band. So what you'll do is just get into position. Let's assume obviously you're doing it here, knee a little bit lower. So you've got your arm here in abduction, you've got there passively, and then you've got the band here. But what you want to do is get to your maximal external rotation. So you've externally rotated, you've got to here, and then get the band. So it won't really take a lot of load. So you could probably get here, get your other hand, reach it around, and then just slowly transfer the force. And now you're isometrically loading it here to stop it going any further. If that's not enough, then literally just move away a tiny bit to adjust the tension, which won't take too much. And then you're just sitting here, and then you're done. So you're isometrically loading this tissue in this position. Fully internally rotated, so you're here, you're going to get all the way down to the end of your rotation. Same thing, you've just got the band, and then here, just pull on it. You do not have to pull very hard, and you'll feel that tissue. As soon as you feel it engaging, that's where you're holding. So the program will probably say you want to do this for 2 minutes, and you do. But you'll probably do this for 5 seconds and fatigue, maybe 10 seconds. So you want to get up to 2 minutes worth of work, but it doesn't have to be 2 minutes in one go. It might be, say, it's broken up into as many sort of groups or sets or reps as you like. So if you fatigue after 10 seconds, then have a rest and then go again. That just means if you do 10 seconds at a time, you've got to do 12 reps. But you'll be building up, not in intensity to start, but just in duration, so we can get up to that 2 minute hold. So once again, here you go, neutral position. That's a neutral position, fully internally rotated, and then external over there. What you might find is you just get a little bit, this arm might just get a little bit fatigued, sort of pulling on it. If that's the case, I mean, you can actually kind of just do that. Even then, it makes it easier, funnily enough, because you're not holding the whole band. But that's your internal rotation. You'll also be getting, as the program goes on, some pushing as well as just the holding. So a holding is, you know, I've got the band here and I'm trying to pull up, but I'm holding here for movement. What a pushing is I'll get my other hand here as an example, and I'm going to try to rotate further, but I can't. So still isometric, which means no movement, but a pushing is me trying to move, and a holding is me trying to hold still while something else is moving it. So as the program progresses, you'll be getting to the pushing, or PIMA, so pushing isometric. So all that means is when you're doing pushing, same thing. Get into this abducted position passively. This will be a neutral position. Get here, just get your hand there, and you'll just be trying to rotate into your hand. So just pushing down, same thing. Fully internally rotated, pushing into your hand. And then this one, when you're doing the fully externally rotated one, just put your hand up here, and then you're trying to rotate in. And that'll be your pushing. The reason there's two is pushing is going to work predominantly on your nervous system, and the holding is going to work predominantly on the tissue, and you need both. That's everything. Enjoy.